We want to bring the schools back to the states because we have the worst, literally, we have the worst education department and education in the world. We're ranked at the bottom of the list, and yet we're number one when it comes to cost per pupil. We want to not only have school choice, which is important, but we want to bring it back to the states so the states can run the schools, and they will be every bit as good as the top educational departments anywhere in the world.
So you feel good about the states governing education issues?
I do. Not all of them.
Rather than the federal government?
You can go back to the states, but I can tell you 40 states will have great. And then same ones that we have problems with everything else, they probably won't do as well, but we'll help them.
A lot of videos I can talk about right now. There's a lot of videos out there, but I have to, my rule. I always keep myself to just 3 videos max, 3 topics a day max. And I think I want to use one for education. As you see from the intro, Donald Trump wants to dismantle the Department of Education. And there is some, like the left, they have been kind of controlling these institutions. Because if you see the people who are associated in the Department of Education, a lot of them are Democrats. I believe there's a political interest from Democrats to maintain the Department of Education. It's not because of the benefit of the teacher, to the benefit of the teacher to some degree, but the Department of Education does not work in the best interest of parents and student. Why do you say that, Kenny? Well, teacher unions, if you know historically, they all endorse and vote for Democrats for the most part. Teacher unions vote for the Democratic Party. And if you see some of the things they passed in the Department of Education, DEI, political propaganda, political ideologies such as 1619 Project, which is a revisionist history on the founding of America, they push all this ideology into schools, right? And you see that the education system and all these administrations, they go out of their way to protect these administrators, because no matter how much money we invest into education, right? Because it's a bloated system, right? And Department of Education has, in my view, in my estimation, the worst bloat, because none of the metrics, every educational metrics you judge the Department of Education on, you cannot find it working in any, like it has not improved our education in any shape or manner. The Department of Education was created by Jimmy Carter, Democratic president. Of course, Jimmy Carter. It had to be him, right? In the 70s. Before the Department of Education was created, we had the #1 education system in the world. At least top 5, at least in the world, before the Department of Education was created. After the Department of Education was created, in 2008, when Obama came into office, our education system was ranked 24th out of 40 nations. So we already started declining. Now it's a lot worse in 2025. Make it make sense? You can't. And I have another antidote before I go into this clip of a teacher union, Randy Washington, Winnington, I forget her name. But you're going to see a lot of these teacher union mob boss try to defend the education system, but they got no metrics. They don't got the answers. They don't got the substance. They don't got the outcomes to justify spending $800 billion to maintain an institution that has failed us consistently throughout the years. We spend more money, yet we're getting less and less and less educational outcomes. 6 out of 10 kids cannot read at grade level. 6 out of 10 kids are not proficient in math. Make that make sense. But you want us to keep pouring money into an institution that's not working? As an antidote, this girl here, Alicia Ortez, is a 19-year-old student attending the University of Connecticut, says that she can't read or write despite graduating from Hartford Public School with honors. Now she's suing the school district, claiming that they failed to meet her special needs. How does a kid graduate high school without learning how to read or write? But I bet you if you ask her anything about political messaging, Black Lives Matter, protesting, anti-racist theory, I bet she knows that stuff. And this is what Thomas Sowell's been talking about for a long time. Thomas Sowell has been talking about education and how a lot of these teachers, they follow fads instead of substance.
This is about opportunity. That is why so many people are so mad about it, because they're just taking opportunity away from kids that don't have it. So billionaires, kids of billionaires, they have it. They go to private schools. Everyone else, 90%, go to public schools. Don't take away their opportunity.
So let's stay on the facts.
Sorry,
no,
I'm
do
really
not apologize.
angry about this.
No, because this
I'm
is what
really
people
angry.
need to hear.
I taught kids in Clara Barton High School in Brooklyn, New York. Virtually all of them got Title I funds. I taught AP Gov. One of the things that they just cut was the We the People competition, which was taught in ruby red districts like Van Wert, Ohio, and deep blue districts like my district. Why, if we need civics, would you cut the We the People competition? It's $11 million. Why would you do that?
Because they want the people to be ignorant. They want the people to not have a proper basis of education, and they want to make sure that the disadvantaged stay disadvantaged.
And this is why I homeschool my kids, because I can't trust people like that. You saw no facts, no evidence. She didn't give you any metrics about how the kids' educations are improving or whatever. 76% of kids are educated in the public school system. That means majority of the time, the government have influence over the majority of the education of the kids in our country. And people are complaining about a competency crisis. People in the left complain about how, oh my God, people are so dumb. Oh, people are so low IQ. Well, 76% chance that they were educated in a public school. So are you admitting that the Department of Education doesn't work, leftists, progressives? Since you complain that people are so ignorant, people don't know what they're talking about, people are so dumb. Make it make sense. We highlight a problem, say, hey, look, these people are not educating our kids properly. You saw at the end, right?
Basis of education.
And I think I want to focus on that part, right? You heard in the end, she's like, it's because they want to keep them dumb. It's because they want to keep them ignorant. What are you teaching our kids now? Social emotional learning. You're talking about some political-ish. You giving out revisionist history, like 1619 project, but you want to get mad that PragerU wants to get into schools too. Make it make sense. You already allow political messaging to be in public schools. You just want it only for the left. And why is it that we want to leave our curriculum to the hands of a district, which is Washington, D.C., which is I voted 90% for the Democratic Party. And you wonder why a bunch of these left-wing political messaging gets filtered into our public school. Our kids learn about feminism and all this stuff, like teaching hatred based on your gender, teaching hatred based on your race. The anti-racist people, right? They color it in these wonderful sounding languages. A lot of these teachers, part of these teachers unions, don't want merit-based pay. They don't want to be judged based on their merits. They always want more and more and more and more money. Then you find out majority of the money that we do allocate towards education, majority of it goes to administration. This lady you see on your screen, she makes $500,000 a year, 9 times the average salary of teachers. Of course she's mad, because at the end of the day, if Donald Trump shuts down the Department of Education, that's one less avenue, one less aspect of control that they have over the youth. And as a famous socialist once said, he's damn near Voldemort. He who controls the children controls the future. And this is the way for the left to control the future of this country, by indoctrinating them in this in their ideology. This is why I call college. College is a big example of this. Look at the political bias in college. 16 to 1 ratio favoring liberals in college. Now, liberals gonna say, oh, it's because we're so much smarter than you, Kenny. No, it's because socialists and many people on the left, you guys have a habit of going into institutions where you have power and influence. This is the number one reason why the arts, Hollywood, is overwhelmingly leftist as well, because you want power and influence, because you want to set the direction that people want to go. And I think one of the main reasons why many people on the left tend to be anti-religion is because religion plays a similar game that they're playing with their ideology. Tell me I'm lying. When she sit here preaching about opportunity for what? Opportunity to make my kid dumb? Opportunity to make my kid a political activist who brings no value to the world? Opportunity for my kid to be what? Lenient towards your ideology? I see this nothing more than the school being a mechanism to push left-wing ideology. You want to ban religion out of school? I believe you should ban political ideology out of school. You should ban feminism out of school. You should ban anything that preaches a worldview to my children. You should be focusing on the basics. And this is one of the critiques that Thomas Sowell was having about our education system since the 70s, since the 60s, since the 80s. Thomas Sowell has been preaching about how education has become something more other than what it was supposed to be, about teaching your kids how to read, write, and arithmetic, the 3 R's. Y'all went away too much from the basics. And this is the result. You got girls graduating high school with honors, not knowing how to read. She's attending college, but she can't read or write. Now she's suing her high school district. But you're talking about Donald Trump dismantling the Department of Education. But he wants to make ignorant people. Exhibit A. Have you looked at Chicago? Chicago, they just spent a bag on these teacher unions. These teacher unions run Chicago, and they have the worst educational outcomes out of any city in these United States. But you want to talk about Donald Trump wants to keep kids ignorant. Let's hear the clip again.
The people competition. It's $11 million. Why would you do that?
It's $11 million that I can't govern or administrate. That's $11 million that's leaving my pocket that I can't manage for my teacher unions. These people are only looking out for themselves at the expense of parents and students.
Because they want the people to be ignorant.
People are not ignorant right now. Half of students can't read at grade level. And if you look based on race, Black people, only 20% of Black students actually read at grade level. So who you're not giving the outcomes. Like, your outcomes does not justify continually funding your mess. Homeschooling parents get more oversight, more scrutiny than the teachers do. Like let's think about it. Instead of, this is why they fight so hard against school choice and all this stuff, because they don't want alternatives, because they know if America receives alternatives, it will expose the racket that we have currently been on. And I think this is what I'm gonna do in my own personal life. I'm like, because I'm gonna be real with you. My kid's 4 years old, and he's already kind of doing first grade stuff, things that's designated for first graders. And I'm gonna be honest with you. My kid only really does schoolwork an hour and 30 minutes a day. The rest of the time he's playing and he's doing something on the. And to me, I wouldn't trade it for the world, especially during his formative years. Maybe when he gets older, he'll go into the school system. Who knows? But right now, I'm happy where he's at. My son can hold conversations with adults. It don't matter your age group. He can hold conversations with you. People see my kid, they're like, yo, your kid talks well. He's 4? Yes. Because I care about my kids being critical thinkers. I don't teach my kids what to think. I teach my kids how to think. And in the education system, especially the one that this lady is fighting for, they teach your kids how to think. This is how you think about racism. Black people can be racist. White people can't be racist. White people, when they succeed in life, it's because of white privilege. When Black people succeed in life, it's in spite of white privilege, white supremacy. They teach you all this crap, pretty much brainwashing you to think based on your skin color lesser of you. If you're white, you should feel guilty about yourself. If you're Black, the system's against you and you need someone's help. And there comes the Democrats posturing themselves as a solution. And then when you get a Black man like me who says, nah, racism ain't stopping me, the Black liberal, the Black Democrat, the white progressives, they'll try to say DEI. If it wasn't for DEI, you would never have a chance to be successful in your life, Kenny. AKA trying to take credit for my achievements, credit for my efforts. There wasn't with me reading these books, learning these topics, doing my own research. I self-taught a lot of topics that I learned. I taught myself this stuff. But the liberal want to take credit for my achievements because of a fake system called DEI. No, I would have still made it in this world on the merits. And if you don't believe me, hey, let's disband DEI and find out. See, and this is the problem. The reality is a lot of these Black Democrats are projecting. They pretend that, without DEI, I wouldn't be successful. Without DEI, you wouldn't be successful. Because maybe in some balance in your mind, you know that you got this position because you weren't the most qualified person. It's just you happened to be born the right skin color, the right gender. That's how you got in these positions. You were good enough, but you wasn't the best. That's why you got Asian students right now filing lawsuits against universities for discrimination. And then when I come on this channel, said DEI is racism under new management, Libs mad. Make it make sense. But there's a paradigm shift that has to change in our education system. And this is one of the critiques that I have about the Democratic Party, is that they're a party of bureaucracy. And we all know what bureaucracy loves to do. Bureaucracy loves to defend status quo, but I digress. Let's hear what Vivek has to say about our academic system.
But I also recognize that our path cannot be the only path either. We got to be a state where every path is open to every child. I want Ohio to be also the best state in the country where every kid who wants to become a plumber or a mechanic or a welder or a carpenter or a builder also has the path to do that without going through taking on saddling, crippling 4-year college debt, which they didn't sign up for, occupational licensing programs that stop young people from being able to enter the workforce. And I don't call these professions the trades. I call them professions because...
Exactly, right? And that's my mentality too. As you saw, Gen Z are trending towards what job they call trades. And this is because of these elitist, snooty liberals. Because liberals know, and this is my political, I'm being political here, liberals know that they got college on lock. They know if your kid goes through that system, they're going to be influenced by liberal ideology, by left-wing ideology. And if they come out, they may not be a leftist, but they'll come out more leftist than when they came in. And they want to they portray from the Obama years, college is the only form of success. And in my head, I'm like, college doesn't make kids smarter. College already filters for the smartest and brightest students already. Look at the SATs, the ACTs. They already test for the brightest and smartest and brightest kids. So you're not really making a kid that was performing below average and you made them perform above average. Sending your kids to college is like LeBron going to college. Can the University of Ohio claim that they made LeBron who he was? No. They already filtered for LeBron. LeBron was the number one kid in his class. They had to put him in there and they had to recruit him. But they didn't make him who he is. He only spent 1 year, like if it's a hypothetical, but he only spends 1 year in there. But then next 18 years of life, you want to take credit for all that? No. It's a combination of things. College doesn't make kids smarter. It doesn't. It's a glorified credential center. That's it. That's what a college degree is. A glorified credential. And liberals love credentialism. And this is another thing. I could talk about this for days. I hate credentialism. You are what you repeatedly do. I don't care if you got a degree in journalism. I worry about your work. I want to see your proof of work. Oh, hey, look. Oh, you didn't get a journalism degree, but you inform people of the news better than someone who does have a journalist degree. This is my argument against credentialism, because it's used as a form of gatekeeping. And this is the reality of what college is. And my estimation, in my reality, if you made me king of America for a day, there'll be different avenues to reach success. You don't like school? Okay, hey, here's a more hands-on approach. You can become an apprentice under this program ran and funded by Google and all these private companies who want people with more hands-on experience. Because nowadays, especially with Gen Z, a lot of companies are complaining about Gen Z workers. Gen Z workers are very fragile, very frail, feel very entitled, more susceptible to burnout and all this stress. They can't handle stress. They can't handle adversity. I wonder why. Education. And this is what I'm saying. I got my job through an untraditional route. I didn't finish college. I'm being honest with you. I treated my job like a trade. Hey, I have hands-on experience doing this. That's how I marketed myself, and I was able to get a junior position, and I worked my way up. And that's what caused me to drop out of college. I was like, hey, I don't need college anymore. I went to college college was just nothing more than a means to an end. And I think if people started thinking more practically about college, I think we could save a lot of kids from going to unnecessary college debt that they don't have to go to. And I think this is why a lot of Gen Z workers, a lot of Gen Z men specifically, are moving towards the trades.
That's what they are. They deserve the same degree of respect and dignity as somebody who goes on to become a lawyer or a banker. And you see, it's not that, thank you. I mean, we've got to, it's an equal respect. There's no hierarchy. This is America, right?
I think liberals created that fake hierarchy to give more legitimacy to degrees than certificates, because they want to bring people into the college institution. Look, you can say a lot of things about a lot of my theories, a lot of my conclusions, but you can't say they don't make sense. Look at the college system. I joke around all the time that the college is the left-wing church. It is. And all these mechanisms they do, they have all these corporations, but then college started failing the corporations. Kids don't come out ready to work in corporations. This is pretty much, people see it as that, oh, I still have to train these people. And that's how I got, look, I'm being honest, that's how I got my foot in the door. I was an intern at some company. I looked and I said, hey, look, this is how I pitched myself. I was like, yo, you can hire me for a lot cheaper because I want the job experience. And you're still going to be teaching the kid coming out of college what he has to do. I spent 6 months here. You might as well hire me for a lot less because I don't have college debt. I'm looking to get job experience here. Why not give me a full-time offer? It works out for both of us. My director looked at me and was like, yo, this kid, he shows initiative. He's a go-getter. Okay, I'll give you the job. That's how it happened. And from then on, it was a wrap. Once I had the job experience, I'm like, yeah, I don't need to go to college anymore. Creative thinking. I didn't just believe the status quo. I went against the status quo. Who said that I can't get a full-time job just doing 6 months at a job? Like, make it make sense. That don't make sense to me. I know your system. I'm more familiar with your system than some kid that you're going to hire who spent 4 years outside of your system coming in, and they'll still have to do the learning curve anyway. My logic was impeccable. I pitched myself. The elevator pitch? Essentially, that's what I did. And I think that we've been brainwashed to think of life linear. Like, oh, you have to do this, this, this. And that's school. And this is one of the reasons why I think I want to homeschool my kid, because I don't want my kids to be thinking with prejudgments. And I think this is what school intentionally does. School teaches for memorization, not critically thinking, not problem solving. And I think that's what we have lost in our public school system. I think money is not the issue for public schools and all this stuff. It's the process. It's the incentives. It's the approach. That's what's wrong with public schools. And they don't want to change. All they want us to do is throw more money at the problem. What? No, we need to change the structure. School choice. Let's put some competition in there. We all know competition increases quality. Why they don't want competition? Because they want control. That's the reality. But I digress. Enough of my ranting. Let me know your thoughts about the education system. And do you believe that we should continue maintaining it? We should go against it? I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. I'd like to hear what you guys are thinking. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys watching the end of the video. Share this video if you feel so inclined. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.